once upon a time, about 3,000 years ago, the gods of Olympus decided to declare the wisest. Zeus, the king of the gods, also invited some philosophers to participate in the process, as he trusted their judgment and logic. Because he believed that they were intelligent and logical, he believed that they would choose him as the wisest. So, the big day arrived, and after they had eaten fine food and drank the finest wine, they all sat down together. In the middle, they had placed a large vase in which they would put their vote after publicly explaining their choice. Zeus speaks first.
You all know my feats and capabilities. With my thunderbolts, I defeated the Titans and we took over the world. With the same thunderbolts, I punish those who break the law. I owe what is right and just. For these reasons, I am the wisest. I'm sure you all have the same opinion.
Zeus spoke with pride and satisfaction, and he gets up to place in the box the vote that has his name written on it. Next, Hera, the wife of Zeus, takes the floor.
I, Hera, the lowest American family, responsible for protecting mothers and their children. Is there a greater responsibility and obligation than this? Is there a more sacred and more important thing in the world than a woman? Were it not for this creature, we would all still be wandering in non-existence. Of course, besides that, I am the queen of the gods, and as you said, behind a successful man there is always a wise woman. For these reasons, I believe the title of wisest belongs to me.
Zeus and Hera spoke rightly and justly. However, I, Poseidon, brother of Zeus and god of oceans and rivers, consider myself the wisest of all. I have the power to control the sea, to make it wild and to calm it. I know all of its secrets. And if we consider that our existence depends on water, since we ourselves are made composed of it, this means that I am the ruler of life itself, and by extension, the holder of all wisdom. Thus spoke Poseidon, and all are astonished. No one expected that someone would dare to publicly admit that he considers himself wiser than Zeus and his wife Hera. After a while, Apollo, the god of divination, music, dance, moral order, and logic, stands up with courage.
As a son of Zeus, I have to say that I inherited all grace from my father. Our difference, however, is that I, in addition to being the god of music, I'm also god of rational thought and morality, which are necessary conditions for wisdom. So I, the master of logic and morality, consider myself the wisest of all.
Ares, the god of war, responds to Apollo's words. Immediately, he stands up, full of rage, and takes the floor.
You say, fool, that you're the wisest when you don't even know what the word wisdom means. So listen to this. Whoever has not been to war, whoever has not had the enemy's spears thrown at him to take his life, does not know what wisdom means. For even I, Ares, the god of battle and war, though I know that I am immortal, many times in battle I have felt that my time for the underworld is approaching. And at the moment you feel ready to leave this world, that's when you review your whole life. And that is exactly the moment that fills your being with wisdom and meaning.
The words and the imposing appearance of the god Ares shook the rest of the audience. Everyone knows the difficult conditions of war and begins to think that, indeed, when one comes closer to death, he reviews his life. In an instant, his whole life passes before him, and he becomes his own judge. What have I done? What have I failed to do? What did I achieve? What did I forget? What would I have done the same? What would I have done differently? Perhaps wisdom, indeed, comes at the end. The deep silence of thought is interrupted by the impressive presence of the goddess Aphrodite, who confidently stands up and immediately catches all eyes.
Death is an important issue, but it concerns only mortals. Death does not touch us mortals. We are not born to die. So I, Aphrodite, the goddess of love, the most beautiful woman in the world, have the following to say. One acquires this love through love. Only when one loves can one see the true meaning of life. Only when one loves can one know himself. And when one knows himself, he's able to know the essence of life. Learn then that wisdom itself is love. That's what I have my own name written on this paper.
Aphrodite's words touches the hearts of the gods and philosophers. The gods do not fear death because they are immortal, but who really cannot become wiser when they knew love. Next, Hephaestus, husband of Aphrodite and son of Zeus, speaks. He is the god of fire, metallurgy, and the patron of craftsmen. And while Aphrodite, his wife, is the most beautiful of all, Hephaestus, on the contrary, is not famous for his beauty at all. Often the other gods mocked him for his appearance and for being lame.
For words of my wife, Aphrodite, surely touched your hearts, and I have to admit that she is partly right. Love indeed makes you wise. but not as much as does the mental pain and feeling of loneliness. Many times, gods, I have felt your gaze judge me for my ugliness and disability. All these years will you enjoy your powers, talents, and beauty. I was thinking about how to beautify my inner world. The isolation and ridicule that I experienced forced me to see the essence of things, and not merely the surface. So I became irresistible.
The gods, shocked at Hephaestus' words, bowed their heads and fell into deep contemplation. How stupid are we, they think, to have caused our brother such pain. How arrogant and selfish are we that without thinking about his feelings, we criticized him so much? And all this why? To feel like we are superior? This is what the gods think and make their self-criticism. Demeter, the goddess of the earth, of agriculture, and the patroness of foreigners, now takes the floor. Hephaestus spoke correctly, and we made a mistake. We should not have treated him this way. And on behalf of everyone, Hephaestus, I apologize. Your words touched my soul. I know what it is like to hurt. I lost my beloved daughter, Persephone. She was stolen by Hades, the god of the underworld. He took her from me, and out of my heartbreak. I brought winter to this earth so the world would not cold and ugly my heart is. And anyone who has not felt this pain is far from my name is written on this paper.
Artemis, the goddess of nature, the wilderness, hunting, and animals, answers Demeter's words.
I cannot fear pain, Demeter. I have never had children, but I imagine this ordeal is the worst thing anyone could experience. However, as the goddess of nature and animals, I have the opportunity to enjoy the beauty and wisdom of mountains, trees, flowers, lakes, plains, and animals. Nature, as a part of the universe, is wiser than any god. So I, Artemis, the goddess of nature, call myself the wisest of all.
Friends and family, I, Estia, the goddess of harmony and peace, dare to call myself the wisest of all. I am the only goddess who has managed to maintain stable and long-lasting relationships, even with Ares, the god of war. My trustworthiness, calmness, and stability of character make me special. I respect you, and you all respect me without exception, so I think you will agree that I am the wisest of all.
Hermes, the messenger of the gods, immediately speaks.
I, Hermes, son of Zeus, and most beloved brother of Apollo, have the important responsibility of carrying the messages of the gods to the people. With my wings sandaled, I fly high in the sky to convey messages quickly. I also perform another great deed. I am responsible for transporting the souls of the dead to the underworld. No one else bears such great responsibilities as I. My responsibility and obligation to do my duty respectfully have made me mature and wise. So if anyone should call himself wise, it's me.
After Hermes finished, the goddess Athena, immersed in the ocean of thoughts, takes the floor. Now it is her turn to select the wisest. Everyone expects her to select herself, since Athena has many times acted wisely in the past. In a thoughtful and doubtful tone, she slowly rises and says the following.
Many wise words were spoken by all. Many of you have indeed experienced difficult situations that require patience and responsibility. However, I notice that you are all trapped in the deception of your ego. All of you, without any exception, have been seduced by the word wisdom and hastened to prove yourself the wisest. You didn't even consider the possibility someone else might be wiser than you. Where is your moderation? Where is your self-awareness? Where is your empathy? How do you expect that without these virtues you will be able to touch the golden steps of wisdom? And I say touch, because to climb and reach the top, you still have a long way to go. On this here paper, I have my name written, because I, the fool, believed I was the wisest. But how slowly am I? Your words made me think deeply. As you spoke, I realized the one virtue we all really lack is wisdom. That is why I'm tearing up this paper and refuse to declare some of the wisest.
Athena's profound words disturbed the peace and tranquility that prevailed on Olympus, the home of the gods. The gods could not believe what just came out of the goddess's mouth. Her words penetrated the heart and conscience. Zeus became so mad at his daughter's audacity and insolence that he began to throw lightning and thunderbolts. Next, it is Socrates' turn to speak.
Which of you, my wise gods, have practiced self-criticism? How many of you have reflected on your mistakes and errors?
How many of you have acted selfishly? How many of you have hurt others without even asking for an apology? How many times have you felt like a fool without even admitting it? How many times have you seen others excel and do great deeds, but your selfishness did not allow you to recognize the good? So go ahead, please tell me. Why don't you answer? I hope my questions have guided you towards finding an answer.
After speaking, Socrates walked towards the ballot box and built to Athena. The gods, with bowed heads, for the first time in their lives, experienced a feeling of shame. It's the first time anyone dares to criticize them so harshly. The respect they have for Socrates was so great that not only did they not get angry, but they began to reconsider their words and actions. Plato has the last words.
The path of wisdom is thrilling but difficult. What man of God does not desire the path of wisdom? Does anyone actually ever manage to reach the end of wisdom's path? If so, what did they see? Did they see other paths of wisdom so far and distant appear ahead? It is hard for me to imagine anyone, human or God, has been able to walk the path of wisdom. Because wisdom is a constant battle, a war. You fight with your ideas, you fight with your beliefs, you fight with yourself. Woe to him who, without having traveled half the way, calls himself wise. Woe to him who, without knowing well as in what believes that he can think and act wisely. Woe to him who dares to say that he has come to know himself well enough before he comes to see himself change. Think about gods, how far you have yet to go. It takes him, but it's worth it. So judging by your words and deeds, I would say that if anyone among you deserves to be called wise, it is Athena.
The gods are speechless. They do not know how to deal with the harsh but true words of the philosophers. They now know that they still have a long way to go to achieve wisdom. The changes they have to make in their thinking and behavior are many, and the effort required is great. Their only consolation is the infinite time ahead of them. Maybe, at some point, they will succeed. After thinking carefully, Zeus decides to break the silence with the following words.
You have spoken wisely and justly, my dear philosophers. Your words have brought pain to our hearts, but sometimes the truth hurts. You have awakened us from the slumber of arrogance and selfishness that we, the almighty gods, have fallen into. All of us, in our effort to promote ourselves, have forgotten to be humble, modest, and compassionate. Accordingly, I will change my vote. I don't deserve the title of the wisest. So I, Zeus, say that Athena is the wisest among us all as well.
I agree with Zeus. If anyone among us deserves to be called wise, it is Athena, so I vote for her as well.
Athena is the wisest.
Everyone now agrees that Athena is the wisest among them. From now on, the goddess Athena acquires the title of the wisest, and the Greeks, who value wisdom above all else, named their capital Athens, and